Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean, filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hope. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hope. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
Finally gotten to the point where I know I can't even have contact with him. You think I would have known that by now? You think I would have known that in July or earlier? My God, why didn't I listen to myself at the very beginning? I saw all of the red flags, all of the warning signs. I saw his behaviors early on, yet I still chose to go back again and again and again for more and more and more. It really goes to show how well intermittent reinforcement works in combination with the trauma bond. It's very complex. It's also pretty simple. But to explain the finessing of a relationship like this, to get to this point where even when you know in your gut that it's not good for you, that it's not healthy, that it's not okay, your brain still overrides that, knowing the dopamine effect that it gets. So once you start having that interaction again, that was my mistake. 5+ weeks. 5+ weeks this time. And I was finally coming around to feeling like myself again and feeling really good in my body and my mind. Isn't it crazy? It was the day before Thanksgiving. I was really feeling like that was I had come a long way at that point. And you're not going out, honey. She's at the door. Debbie wants to leave. But she keeps escaping to people's houses and ends up in their garages and things, and they call my vet, and then they call me. So, I ran into him at Trader Joe's the day before Thanksgiving when I was leaving my work. And I went over to Trader Joe's to pick up a few things. And he saw me, and he chased after me, and I did not walk away. I was feeling warm to him, and I embraced him. And then we saw each other. So then we saw each other. And then we didn't see each other for a week. And we had a bad conversation on Tuesday before the whole week was up. So Wednesday I saw him at Trader Joe's. And we spent the night together. Thursday was Thanksgiving. We had a little bit of text communication. Then no communication after that until Tuesday, when he called me Tuesday morning, really early in the morning, about this time, 5:30 a.m. I've been up for an hour. It doesn't look like I've been up for an hour, but I swear, like, I won't make these videos if I wait for the moment when I look and feel right. So Tuesday I was left feeling really fucked in the head after his morning conversation to me. He doesn't see how he has, maybe he sees some of the abuse. He doesn't understand the mechanisms behind the psychological and emotional abuse. And at this point in time, even if it's not actively occurring, my nervous system has now been so trained and wired in a way to respond to him in that way. So every time he brings up, which he does constantly, some of the aspects of the relationship that he has harped on and created a really unhealthy dynamic around, and this relates to me because he has pretty much pinpointed what he thinks to be me and my personality, and I'm this bad person who's a liar and a cheater and I've betrayed him and all of this stuff. And how twisted it actually gets. So now let's move along, right? So I have this is dished out to me every single time. Over the course of the time I've known him since February, my character has been assassinated, not even attacked at this point, assassinated so many times, to the point that now if he even just wants to have a casual conversation about my previous relationships, which are none of his goddamn business, they have no precedence, they have no effect on our current relationship. I mean, he wants to pick them apart and analyze them as if I am some bad person who has loose morals and dated this guy, and oh, look at that one, and then dated this guy, oh, and look at that one. And doesn't even give me any credit for the long relationship that I had with Alan for 7 years. Why I would even need to defend my relationships, I don't know, because I've had healthy relationships. I understand what a healthy relationship is. This is the first time I've been in an abusive relationship, and he wants to teach me or tell me? Wow. Okay. Before I lose it, because you can see how triggering this is now. This is the kind of stuff that I've been antagonized into a corner about over and over again. Why would I continue to listen to it? Why would I even defend myself? That is a great question. Why wouldn't I just block this abusive asshole? Okay, right? Why? Why wouldn't I? This is actually what escalated into a physical encounter in July. When I was sick with COVID in a fever, he came into my home, antagonized me this way, and it led to a physical encounter in which I was hurt because I am not as big as him and he is quite strong. So phone call Tuesday, texted me at some point Wednesday. He was picked up by the cops on a warrant related to some crap about failure to appear in court related to damage he did here the night that he physically abused me, and emotionally and psychologically he physically damaged the space as well. So he went to jail. And I didn't feel good about that. Not because he didn't deserve it, but because as a human who loves him, still crazy, I can separate the love from all this psycho stuff. This doesn't mean that I can be in this psycho stuff. It's not healthy for me. But I can still see my love for him differently. Because I can still see who he is at his core. He just chooses to display behaviors that are related to his unhealthy patterns of thinking and emotions that he cycles through and harps on and then projects outward onto the person that he loves the most. And I was sickened at the thought of him being in jail. I didn't know who he was going to contact when he got out. I didn't know when he was going to get out. No, he went to jail on the 1st. That was Thursday, not Wednesday. Anyway, he was out by Friday night at like 7 or something like that p.m. I was in bed. I was falling asleep because I had been working. I'm working 7 days a week. It's a very busy time of year for me. And I was in bed because I wanted to go to sleep. Somehow he convinced me to get up and go to his house, where we spent the night together. And then yesterday morning, he starts in on the same crap over again. We're not even in a relationship anymore. We're not together. We're not in a committed monogamous relationship. I don't want to go there again because I know what I know. It was the most amazing physical, intimate, emotional relationship I've ever had. I've never had that feeling in my body with somebody else. I've never experienced physical pleasure and orgasm with anybody like I have with him. I did not think it was possible. So that connection for me with him is very, very strong. And I don't seek it out in any other. I don't even want it in any other. How does he not understand that? Because that for him is the part that he's always thinking that I'm off gallivanting with somebody else. Like, I can't explain it any clearer to him. And this is because in the beginning of when we first met, I dated somebody else before I decided, and he decided that we wanted to date each other, and then finally decided let's be monogamous with each other. Isn't that kind of like how dating works, you know? And this is the person that he goes back to all of the time that I betrayed him with. I betrayed him with this person, and then I'm some, loose whore because I slept with this other person and then didn't pursue a relationship with this other person, but pursued a relationship with him instead because I felt like he was the right one for me to be in a relationship. I wanted to be in a relationship with him, but that means nothing. That means nothing. Like what I wanted, my commitment, convictions, those things mean nothing. No, he just sees from his eyes, oh no, none of that means nothing. Your actions are what speaks. Yeah, we all know that saying and that's true, but why are you looking at this person that I dated for a minute around the same time that you and I were just getting to know each other, and you're blaming me for betraying you with this person? Mind you, when we first got together, after a couple days of being intimate with each other, I was really emotionally starting to fall for him because we had been living together already for 2+ months as roommates. I mean, we had gotten to know each other. And as I was falling for him, it was obvious to me that I was wanting to be very, very close to him. And I want to be very close to the person that I'm with, usually. So I was wanting to be very physically close to him. And he just cut it off. He ended it. He's like, I don't think this is good. I don't think we should pursue a romantic relationship together. Boom. Right there on the head. Right there. One morning in March, after a couple days of us being intimate together, I said, okay. I accepted it. I didn't push him and ask him why. I didn't say, oh, but please, I really, really want to. I just said, okay, if this person that I'm living with doesn't want to pursue a relationship with me, I'm not going to make this more convoluted. I'm just going to accept it. And I said, okay. And I accepted it. Done. It was done for me. It was done right then and there. I've never been in relationships where you go back, and you go back, and you back, and you back. I did not anticipate or expect him to come back a week later and say, oh, I cooked you this dinner. By the way, he didn't even invite me to a dinner. After the fact, he said, and you didn't even stay for dinner that I made for you. You didn't even invite me to dinner. So I accepted it and I moved on. I had also been starting to have a friendship with this other guy at the time that I was developing an attraction for, and he was attracted to me. So we had a couple of dates, and we were intimate together. And then we weren't, because even though we got along and liked each other, after we went out a couple of times, twice, and made love once, we knew we weren't right for each other and we didn't want to pursue anything together. And then comes back around in this really weird, odd way, not in a way like, hey, I think I made a mistake. Actually really like you and I got a little bit afraid of my emotions. Would you like to have dinner with me tonight so we can talk about it? No, he didn't do that. Instead, he waited for me to come home one night, really late, like he was staying up waiting for me because he was sleeping out here in this living room, because he was staying here as a guest. He didn't actually rent and live here. This is what I moved into. Yeah, so I come home. Late. He's been up, waiting for me. Comes at me as I'm going to the bathroom and starts harassing me about where I've been, who I've been with, who I've been fucking, in his words. This is what he always, oh, you've been fucking, you fucking this, you fucking them. Oh God. Starts harassing me. I've never experienced this stuff before. Like, I should have walked away, but why? I didn't. I stood there and I started explaining myself to this person, sharing information about my life, my whereabouts, my business with him when I owed him nothing. And because he's so crazy, I mean, this is not normal behavior and thinking. There is a personality disorder at play here, or more. I mean, there's abuse from the past that he went through as a child. There's personality development in there. There's covert narcissistic stuff. And boom, you have a person who's not safe to be in a romantic relationship with, emotionally and psychologically, and sometimes physically. That night, yeah. So somehow he gets me to tell him, like, where I've been, who I've been with, and what I did. Oh, great. Good job, Morgan. So now I'm just like a real whore in his eyes. And I betrayed him. I betrayed him right then and there. I betrayed him. How? How? Oh, I'm still trying to figure that out. And he doesn't even tell me this on this occasion. Somehow this comes out way later on, that he made me dinner and I didn't even stay. I left. I went out. Okay. I had plans to go out with coworkers after work that night. I hadn't talked to him for a whole week after he decided he didn't want to be with me anymore. He just stopped being interactive with me. Then all of a sudden, he decides, what, he wants me back? He's gonna make this meal? I don't understand. He didn't come up to me and say, oh, are you going out? Because I was really hoping that we could spend the night together, and I bought this food and I was gonna make some food and I'd love you to join me. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say, oh, I'm making dinner, do you wanna join me? He didn't say, oh, I planned on inviting you to dinner tonight, can you join me? He didn't say any of those things to me. He came in with the other roommate, and said, we're making pizzas. Great. I did not think that included me. Why would I assume that included me? Enjoy your pizzas. And I had plans. Okay. This is the beginning of stuff that happens that you go, I'm confused. This doesn't make sense to me. Like, why am I here explaining this to this person, and now it got turned around on me, and somehow I'm the bad one? I'm the one that did this wrong and that wrong? So do you see early on how this started, and I couldn't even really catch up? I wasn't there understanding what was going on. Over time, I mean, this is all in March. We haven't gotten to April yet. There's a lot of shit that happened. There's so much I can't even catalog it all in here anymore. It wasn't until July when the physical stuff happened. Now it's November, and I'm still having some form of contact with this person. What is wrong with me? I'm gonna speed us up here for a minute to the present. We're not quite a full year and full circle here yet, but before I go into anything else, because I was in a good place the day before Thanksgiving, and look at where I am now. I'm gonna speed us up from everything I just told you, that setup at the very beginning. That's a week's worth of information. That's a week. That was week 1. Okay? That was week 1. Let's speed on up here. Let's go all the way through all of the other bullshit. All of the time that I kept getting harassed over this, and other people I didn't even know. I was fucking this one, I was fucking that one, I'm fucking them all. November. December. It's December, guys. December. Alright, so now we're in December, present day. I had to speed us up to this because I'm gonna lose my mind. Before this last and final break, where we've been apart for 5 weeks. So we've got December, let's bop back to October, mid-October, around October 16th. A couple days before October 16th, we're at a gas station. The fellow that I had that couple of dates with and slept with and saw from time to time and waved at, like, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Good, life's good. Yeah, life's good. Saw me in my car at the gas station. Well, this other person was inside getting his stuff. So he comes out. The guy I had the 2 dates with comes out, sees me in my car, tries to wave to me. Oh, hey. Well, I've been so psychologically and emotionally abused at this point, and I know that this other person will attack this other person, given the opportunity, if he knows who he is, because he's just that crazy. I decide I'm going to ignore. Not consciously, this was a snap decision of survival and protection, that I was going to have to ignore this other person altogether and act like I'm trying to find something. And other person comes back to the car, gets in the car with me. Did you see that person was trying to get your attention? You looked like he knew you. Looked like you guys knew each other. And I lied, which is like what he's been waiting for this whole time, and said, no, I didn't see him. I didn't see him. You didn't see him? You didn't see him? Because like he was trying really hard to get your attention. Seems like you knew him. So now I'm hiding something, and finally he has his proof that I've been hiding something, and now I'm like, do you see? Oh my god. Meanwhile, he somehow has me moving in with him a couple of weeks from there, and we've tried to move in together several times before that because he got kicked out of here, which I'll go into another time. You know, there's stuff with cops and blah 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 and all this stuff that happened in between all of this, okay? Anyway. I was already having crazy panic attacks and anxiety all the time about moving in with this guy. I knew that I was going to give up my space and something bad was going to happen with him and I was going to be fucked. But I was moving in with him anyway. So it was that night that I was like, I cannot do this. There's no way in hell I can move in with him. And that was that. He called me like 10 times in a row and texted me up the wazoo, and I just said, no. Okay, moving on. So then he moved into that place anyway. Somehow he manages to swindle people and get these amazing, sweet little deals and kisses their ass, and all of the stuff that he thinks that I do, he actually does. Okay, so moving along. Speed up to yesterday morning. Wake up with him in his bed. And I have a big day ahead of me. I'm working 7 days a week. He brings this crap up again over coffee. Again, here we are. He's naming men that I haven't even been with romantically that are in the mix now. It's like, and back to this guy who came out to the car, and I said, let's get to the bottom of this right now. Because I don't care anymore, and I'm not with you. I didn't say this to him. This is thinking in my mind. I'm not with him. I'm not gonna be with him because I know he can't change. Somehow I'm still enjoying intimacy with him though. No. Let's get to the bottom of this right now. And he almost did, it seemed like he didn't want to hear it. Like I had to say that twice, maybe 3 times, to force the information upon him because he still wants to play this twisted game. I said, that guy and that guy that came up to the car, that was so-and-so from that time. Well, he flipped the fuck out. Leave, you have to leave, blah, blah, blah. You're so disgusting, you disgust me. Did he fuck you good? Did he lick your pussy really good? Did he fuck you good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not abusive? You're not abusive? Huh. No problem. I'll gladly leave. Grab my coat, grab my toothbrush, which was the only thing I brought over that night, my toothpaste. Grab my bag, got my slippers on because I came over in my pajamas and slippers because remember I was in bed falling asleep the night before and he got out of jail and called me. Okay, so I'm leaving. I leave. Calls me on my way home. Starts again, twists it around, comes back at me. How dare I make him feel and look like he's crazy? I had him thinking he was crazy. He doesn't see. I don't like the version of myself that I had to be with him. I don't like that. That's not me. He doesn't see that in this twisted cycle of abuse, what I've become and how I was not about to tell him that person's identity when he was walking out of the store just so that he could go ahead and hit him or something worse or something to me or God knows what, because he's that emotionally and psychologically unpredictable in his abusive ways. I didn't even have the control over my own thoughts and body to say hi to that person like I would in a normal, healthy relationship, and then tell my partner when the partner said, oh, who was that? Oh yeah, that was somebody I dated once, or, oh, that's, somebody I know. And that person, I've been told by exes before, oh, that's somebody I dated once. Like, I hope you're okay. Like, I'm not seeing them now, obviously. And it's nice to see them for a moment here, but there's nothing between us. Most of the time, you don't even need to say that stuff to your partner because you have security in your relationship. Trust, He says trust is so important to him. And yet he has somehow messed with the concept of trust so much that he creates these really unhealthy dynamics and puts people in the position after they've been abused where they can't even make sense of a situation and can't even present it clearly. Do you see how I end up feeling guilty and like the bad person here and like I did something wrong, and you could find a way, you could find some truth in everything, like, you know, of, yeah, I did end up telling him a lie that day and saying that I didn't see this person and blah, 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 blah. But that's not normal. Do you see like where that comes from? And why I had to separate myself from this and choose me? Because the panic attacks and the anxiety and the intense neck pain and no energy and feeling like a shell of myself, that all started to go away after I wasn't with him for a period of time. He doesn't see. He just thinks that he's in the right and that he's been so hurt and that he's been betrayed. And this is how every person in his life has done him wrong. And now I'm the pinnacle of it. Feels good.